Now, history makers in Team SA, Tatiana Smith, Bradley Nkwana and Bayanda Walaza are set to arrive in South Africa this morning. Part of the welcoming party include the families of the athletes as well as Sports Minister Gayton McKenzie, who is with our Andy Mahamba from Newzroom Afrika right now. Andy, over to you.
Indeed, Masa, I do have the Sports Minister Gayton McKenzie here with me as we eagerly anticipate the arrival of the first batch of Team South Africa athletes. And I'll go straight to the Minister now. Minister, the time is here. We've rolled out the red carpet for the athletes. Just a thought on our Team South Africa performance at the Olympic Games.
Well, firstly, we are ecstatic about the performance. Myself and the MEC, we were just speaking, and we said that they've doubled their tally. We got, you must always admit when people have done better. They got 3 medals in Tokyo. In Paris, we are standing on 6 medals. We also have our most decorated Olympian here today, Tatiana. I mean, they've done very well under trying circumstances. But I can promise the nation that come 2028 in LA, you will see a different team of South Africans competing. We can't go there and have our athletes struggle. It's not their fault, it's our fault as leaders. We should take full responsibility. But I'm promising that it will never ever happen where there's one athlete, and not under our watch, where there's one athlete that complains about inadequate help. But I'm excited, South Africa is great. This is a massive opportunity for us, a massive opportunity for our country to showcase the best of our athletes.
Now, I don't want to dwell too much on the negativity because this is a positive occasion, but talk me through some of the work that's gone into making sure that we don't have a repetition of some of the issues. You're saying not under your watch, so what is it that you're hoping to do to make sure that this isn't the case come 2028?
I think the work started with the president already of the country. Look who he appointed. I'm an action man. So the work started, I'm an action man. So the president already had foresight to this problem. So I'm now appointed. And everybody knows I'm not just talk. In 100 days, I will be able to tell the nation what I've done to make sure that we take no less than 300 athletes to LA. We can't take 134 athletes only. We must take 300 minimum. We live in the most talented, the greatest country in South Africa. And we have plans, and the MEC then said something very important. He said to me, you know what? The road to LA starts at school sport. And I said to him, at community sport also. We must invest money in our athletes. And Van Dijk, I want to congratulate her for speaking up and speaking out. I spoke to her this morning. I'm about to speak to her father. And I'm going to make sure that whatever they put in, we must give them back. Because they invested in for the country. We can't sit by while they took their last money and brought a medal back. That will never happen. But rest assured, sport will change in South Africa.
Look, Golo Adams, was already a promise made that you would take him to France and make sure that he is rewarded following the controversy. What is the update there? Were you able to assist him? Was he able to go to France? What other assistance is going to be offered to that athlete?
Right. What we've done, we got him accommodation, we booked his flights, and then his psychologist said, we are not in charge of if he can run. We promise we'll get him there. Then his psychologist came back and said to him, no, it wouldn't be good for him to be there mentally if he doesn't know if he's going to run. He needs to be prepared mentally. He is one of my first meetings I will have, but we have kept our promise to him that we will make sure he gets there. But we can't go against doctor's orders. But flights, accommodation, everything was arranged. And I think he wanted to go, but he's a disciplined man that said, I'm going to listen to my doctor. But we're going to make sure that him, Akani Simbi, all those Simbini, all the people that we have, they must make sure that the next wave of sprinters wait in them. They're not going to be lost in the system. They're going to come right here next to us. And we're going to make sure that they help us unearth the next athletes. Tatiana's retiring. But that is like a semi-retirement. I'm going to speak to her because we need her to make sure there's more Tatianas coming.
Talk to me about the financial incentives, Minister.
The financial incentives. What I've been told by SASCOC is that if you get a gold medal, I think it's 400,000. I'm speaking under correction. I think silver 250, bronze 200, something like that. But from us, that's them. My department. And I'm speaking here, MEC, you must not include yourself in this one. You must also make a separate plan. The MEC must not include him in this one. He has his own budget. But from my department, I can assure you that next week, I'm going to invite you, where I'm also going to show you what I'm giving them. So I'm now, the MEC is here. Maybe just ask him what is he doing from his department. Over to you, MEC.
MEC, you've been put on the spot. What are you doing as your department?
We're going to have a discussion with the minister, but we'll definitely do something. Obviously for Gauteng athletes in particular, Walaza and them.
And looking at the Gauteng athletes, you mentioned Bayanda Walaza as a student who has come through to the Olympic Games. How do you then make sure that he's reintegrated in terms of his education, because he did have to postpone his matric exams to attend the Olympics?
No, the principal just clarified there that they've done a special arrangement for him, and he was also studying while he was there at the Olympics through virtual platforms. So he's relatively ready. He's talented. He's talented both in class and out of class. So definitely I'm certain that he'll do well and pass.
It's back to you, Minister.
When you're in high school and you win a silver medal at the Olympics, what is matric? We were not that talented, but even I passed matric. How can such a talented man have a problem? These people are worrying about matric. There's nothing for that boy. You know what is his middle name? Joy. Joy is his middle name. He brought joy to us. We've got this whole school here. 300 kids came to come and welcome him. He's matric is going to write it with one hand. He'll finish that matric with one hand. Thank you.
Yeah, Minister, you were talking about the issue of sports funding, and it's always been a problem, especially the government model of sports funding in the country. Your department is already one of the least funded departments in the Eastern. How do you plan to address all these challenges, especially when you look at the two biggest sporting programs competing regularly for athletics? In fact, the Olympics, athletics and swimming are also one of the least funded sporting programs.
Now, you know, people have this thing, mainly ministers. We always complain we don't get enough money. But we never say, what do we do with the money? I am one minister, I don't have a problem with the money I got. As long as we spend it right. I must now go back to Treasury and show them, look, you gave me 7 billion. This is how I spend the 7 billion. Can you now give me more? But I can't expect the Minister of Finance to just give me more by virtue of me being appointed. What I want to say to you is that in every country in the world, government plays but a small part compared to the corporate sector. The problem we had in this country, the corporate sector gives the money and officials are going overseas with the whole families, with friends, people that should not be there. They've never played sport. You know, when I as a minister or the MEC, when we go overseas, I go to meetings of ministers, meetings to facilitate the future of sport, arts and culture internationally. But you can't take people there. You don't know what are they doing there. You know, and then people are complaining. I was criticized for cutting Bota and Mama Joy and those people. But today you heard from a medalist saying that we are struggling. It can't be. So I'm saying to you, we're not going to ask for more money from Treasury. That is not what we're going to do. Before we do that, we're going to make sure that money goes to the right people, the right places, because there's money. Government gets blamed for nothing here. Everybody blames government. Government is not supporting. It is us, the functionaries of government, that is not using the money well. In my department, I can promise you, I've already cut even people that were supposed to go to the Olympics. I'm like, are you running? Are you jumping? No, you stay. You stay. I've cut so many people that were supposed to have been at the Olympics. I cut them because that money that I cut, you know what I'm going to do with that money? I'm going to give it to the gold medalists, to the silver medalists, to the bronze medalists. There's money that I cut. That's saving. I'm taking that saving. I'm going to. Because when you take somebody overseas, it's hotel accommodation, it is food, it is transport. That is not 5 rand taxi there. It's very expensive, the transport that side. Thank you.
Minister, I'll let you go. I'm sure you've got other engagements to get to, but thank you for your
South
time.
Africa, can you see? We are one nation. You mustn't listen to those fools that want to divide us. We are one nation. We are white, black, Indian, colored. This is our country. We are together. There are some haters. There are some haters that want to separate us. But we are the children of Nelson Mandela. We are one nation. You look at the crowd here. There's all sorts of people here, all colors, because that's who we are, South Africa. We are a great nation. And to the athletes, to the officials, I, as the sport minister, I'm very proud of what you have achieved in Paris.
Minister, will South Africans be able to watch the Springboks on CTA channel on the 31st?
I am working on that. Ask me that question. I am working on it. I met with Supersport. And you know, there's a wrong perception which I want to fix now. There's a perception I want to fix. I want you to record this. There's something I want to fix here. When we say we are going to war, we are not going to war against Newzroom, against SABC, against Newzroom, against Supersport. It is not the responsibility of Supersport to make sure that the people of this country see the game. Now, people have the wrong impression. I'm going to war with a broadcaster because I'm going to war with us politicians because we must make money available. The business of Supersport is based on broadcasting rights. So if I expect Supersport tomorrow to give these things for free, I'm killing that business. I never made that expectation. I did meet with Supersport. And that question that you ask, because Mandela got his T-shirt 30 years ago, it's the very same team, very same stadium. So I'm talking to them. But this thing where we expect, we are the public broadcaster, we are politicians. These people depend on us. We can't put that responsibility on Newzroom, on E-News, on Supersport. No, it's wrong. We are responsible for our people not watching the games, and we must fix it as politicians. And I intend to fix that as the Minister of Sport, Arts and Culture. And I don't want to tell you, but I'm busy negotiating that particular game.
Are you positive?
The attitude of Supersport has made me very positive. Very. The attitude is not one of arrogance. It's one of listen to us and we listen to you. So we are waiting now for them to get back to us. But we had a meeting yesterday. We said this is an important game. Find it in your heart for the South Africans to be able to watch this game. While we are fixing, so I just want to put it out there. People stupidly think we want to tell Supersport or Newzroom or E-News. No, bring it here. We're not a communist country. We are not a socialist country. We are a country that must help our businesses. That's a business. So what I'm going to do, next week, I'm going to give feedback. But there's big things coming for South Africa. I've got big meetings, which I'm not going to tell you this weekend, that is very big for South Africa. I'm going somewhere. And when I come back, I'll come with good news. Thank you very much. And I'm not telling you where I'm going.
Well, we'll be looking forward to it, Minister.